What if I told you that Iran's very first indigenous fighter jet, built in the shadow of sanctions and international isolation, wasn't just a symbol of survival, but a statement to the world that Iran could engineer its own wings of war? Welcome to today's deep dive into the Azarakhsh fighter jet, the Thunderbolt of Iran. Before we begin, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a like so you never miss more powerful stories from the world of military aviation. And don't forget, the link to our next video is waiting for you in the description. The 1990s were a turning point for Iran. The Iran-Iraq War had left the country's air force depleted, reliant on aging F-4 Phantoms, F-5 Tigers, and F-14 Tomcats, aircraft that had been purchased before the 1979 revolution. But after sanctions cut Iran off from spare parts and new purchases, survival meant one thing: build at home or lose the skies. Out of this need came Azarakhsh, meaning thunderbolt in Persian, a jet that symbolized Iran's determination to stand on its own feet. At first glance, Azarakhsh looks familiar. That's because its DNA comes directly from the Northrop F-5E Tiger II. Iran had acquired dozens of F-5s before 1979, and its engineers had spent years reverse engineering, repairing, and modifying them. By the early 1990s, Iran decided not just to repair, but to recreate the F-5 in an Iranian mold. The result was Azarakhsh, a fighter jet that looked like a tiger, but roared with Iran's own identity. Its maiden flight reportedly took place in 1997, making headlines worldwide. Iran proudly announced it as its first indigenous fighter, and although experts debated just how indigenous it was, the fact remained: Iran had successfully produced a jet from its own factories. Let's break it down. Azarakhsh measures 14.5 meters in length with a wingspan of 8.1 meters. It runs on twin J-85 turbojets, likely locally produced versions. The maximum speed is around Mach 1.6, which is about 1,700 kilometers per hour, and it can achieve a range of 2,200 kilometers with drop tanks. Its weapons loadout includes air-to-air missiles like locally produced Sidewinder copies, unguided rockets, and bombs. The avionics were reportedly upgraded with Iranian-designed electronics and radar. What made Azarakhsh unique wasn't that it surpassed fourth-generation fighters of its time, but that it proved Iran could sustain, maintain, and reproduce its own fleet even under maximum pressure. To the outside world, Azarakhsh may have looked like just another F-5 clone. But to Iran, it meant far more. It represented resilience. It sent a message: sanctions will not ground us. The fighter became a symbol of national pride, paraded in air shows, and used as a stepping stone toward more advanced projects. Azarakhsh was never meant to dominate the skies against F-16s or Su-30s. Instead, its role was practical. It served as a training platform for Iranian pilots, preparing them for newer jets. It worked as a strike aircraft for close air support, capable of carrying rockets and bombs. And perhaps most importantly, it was an experimental testbed for Iran's aerospace industry, laying the foundation for future designs like the Saeqeh, which came later with twin vertical stabilizers. Of course, critics were quick to point out limitations. Azarakhsh didn't feature stealth, didn't have advanced radar comparable to Western jets, and was still based on a 1960s American design. Some analysts argued it was more of a political statement than a real 21st century fighter. But here's the catch: Iran wasn't trying to outpace the F-22 or Su-35. Its goal was self-reliance, and in that, Azarakhsh succeeded. Now, you might be wondering, how different is Azarakhsh from the original F-5E? The answer: not drastically. The structure, airframe, and performance remain similar, but Iran claims improved avionics, weapons integration, and maintenance ease. Most importantly, the production line was on Iranian soil, with Iranian hands keeping it alive. This is where things get truly fascinating. Azarakhsh opened the doors for Iran's future fighter projects. Without Azarakhsh, there would be no Saeqeh, no Kawsar, and no dreams of the fifth-generation Kaher 313 project. Every fighter Iran fields today owes a part of its existence to the first spark ignited by Azarakhsh in 1997. Think of it as Iran's aviation genesis, a bold first step into self-sufficiency. Beyond its wings and engines, Azarakhsh carried weight in geopolitics. It told regional rivals and global powers alike that Iran's aerospace industry was alive. It reassured Iran's military that, even if cut off from the West, it could still produce something from scratch. In fact, Azarakhsh wasn't just a fighter jet. It was a statement of independence. So, was Azarakhsh the most advanced jet of its era? No. Was it a game-changer in dogfights? Not exactly. But was it historic? Absolutely. It was Iran's first real leap into indigenous fighter development, proving that necessity truly is the mother of invention. Without Azarakhsh, Iran's aviation industry might never have reached the level it stands at today. If you found this deep dive fascinating, make sure to subscribe and like this video. It helps us bring more powerful stories straight to you. And don't forget, the link to our next video is in the description, where we'll explore the Saeqeh, the Thunderbolt II fighter, Iran's bold evolution of the Azarakhsh. You won't want to miss it.